Assalamu alaikum. How are you, beta? Walaikum assalam. Let us start our today's class. Okay, beta. Today's lecture number 2 of your subject research project. Okay. So in previous class, we discussed what are the important steps that are involved in formulating any research project. Okay, what are the steps that you have to go through, how you have to study the literature review that is already present, how you have to decide which kind of method you need to adopt for your research product, and each and everything. Okay, so in today's class we will discuss what are the basic factors that will be involved in formulating a research project, how it is important to review the references, and what are the specifications that are very important while we are formulating our research project. Okay, so we will be discussing three assessment criteria in today's lecture, and the objective of today's class is to make you understand the basics of selecting a research project topic and its specifications. Okay, let us revise the definition of research project along with the various ways of writing or doing a research. A research project is an academic, scientific, or professional undertaking to answer a research question. Okay, and what is the research question? The topic of your research project. Research projects can take many forms, such as qualitative, quantitative, descriptive, longitudinal, experimental, and correlational. I have explained you all these types in the previous lecture as well. Previous lecture, and I also told you that you need to decide by yourself that which method you are going to adopt in your research for your research project. Okay. So, we are now going to discuss the essential factors that contribute to the process of research project selection. Okay, now we have studied all the steps that are involved in formulating the project. We are now on the second step, that is selection of our research project topic. So, how do we decide that which project title or which research project suits our capability or our abilities? So, let us see how we can decide the topic. The identification of these factors is crucial for researchers, funding agencies, and the organizations alike. Okay, now we are talking about the research project that is on a very high level. Regarding the some sort of experimental or correlational kind of research projects that are usually carried out in institutions. These are not basically individual research product projects. These are basically a project of any organization. Okay, so these factors are not only crucial for the organizations or the agencies when they are working on any sort of big project, but it is also, these factors are also important when someone is individually working on any project. And why it is important? Because it helps in making the informed decisions and ensuring the successful execution of research. Okay. So what is the first factor? The first factor is research relevance and importance. The first and foremost factor in project selection is relevance and importance of the research. It involves assessing the potential impact and significance of the proposed knowledge in a particular field. The project's alignment with the societal needs, industry demands or the scientific advancements plays a pivotal role in determining its selection. Okay. So what is the first factor that is very important? The relevancy of your topic and its important. Okay, while choosing the topic for your research, always go for the topic that is very important, that is higher in demand, and that has some practical, importance related to your field. For example, if you have chosen the field of health and safety care or health and social care, then you need to select a topic that is related to some uh, medicine point of view, health point of view, or and the safety point of view. Okay, the topic should be related, in short. It should not be irrelevant topic, because of course then it will be difficult to you, and secondly it will be very difficult for you to research, to do the research related to the topic. The second thing that is mentioned over here is the industry demand, societal needs, or scientific advancement. Of course, it should be a practical topic. Okay, that will benefit the literature review that is already present on the website. That will benefit the knowledge that has already been present related to the topic, and by doing your research or by your project, you have been able to add on into the information that is already present. Okay, so it should be practical, it should be in demand, and it should be, in short, it should be beneficial to all the people, or to all the community people, and that are who are basically looking for depth of the topic. You must choose the topic that should be practical and that should be higher in demand, and the topic should basically beneficial for the society as well as for you. Okay, and how it will be beneficial, that by doing your research, by doing some kind of analysis, your project will help or will add on into the information that has already been present on the websites or in the books related to your topic. Okay, second is feasibility and resources. Another critical consideration is the feasibility of the research project. Factors such as available resources, time constraints, required expertise, and infrastructure determine whether the project can be successfully executed or not. Adequate financial support, access to necessary equipment or the materials, and the availability of the skilled researchers are vital for the project feasibility. Okay, now you have sorted out that which topic you are going to take. Basically, you have thought about a topic, okay, and you have understood its importance, its demand in the industry, or its basis. Now, the second step is you will check out whether sufficient resources are present with you or not. Okay, are you expert enough, efficient enough to do the research related to your topic? Is the time available to you is sufficient for the research, or the financial budget required for the proper analysis, search, or if possible, uh, in case you need to carry out some kind of experiment. So are you financially stable enough to do the research, practical research as well? Okay, so you will check out that check that whether all these things are present or not, the resources are enough or not. Will it be feasible for you to carry out this research, this topic that you have thought during your first step, that is whether it is higher in demand in the industry, whether it has some practical importance or not. Okay, so the second step will be the feasibility and resources. You will check out whether you are having sufficient resources or not. Okay, then comes third factor, that is research methodology and design. Yes, of course, whenever you are going to do some sort of research, you need to adopt specific methodology. The research methodology and design adopted for the project significantly impact its collection. Okay, a robust methodology ensures the collection of reliable data and generation of meaningful results. The appropriateness and rigor of the research design, including sample size, data collection techniques, statistical analysis methods, are evaluated to determine if the project can yield valid and credible findings or not. Okay, so your research methodology will be dependent upon two things. First is your interest in the methodology, and the second is the topic of your research project. If you are interested in doing some sort of experimental research, but your topic demands only qualitative research, okay, then both of these things are opposite to each other. You cannot carry out the proper research. So you have to adopt the methodology that exactly goes along with your topic. And all the methodology, every methodology, the main part or main um, important things in any methodology is the sample size, the techniques for data collection, the statistical analysis, whether you have collected the data through online platforms or whether you have physically visited some institutions or some places and then collected the data, whether you have gone to the library and collected the data. So all these things, and the sample size, very important thing is the sample size. Okay, how many sample are you considering for your research? How many individuals are you considering for research, or how many animals, if you are doing research on animals, then how many animals are you taking? Okay, and if you are doing research in any lab, any doing research on any medicine, then the quantity of the medicine, the type of the drugs that you are considering, all these things will be included in comes under the heading of sample size. Okay, so all these factors are very important. The methodology is important, and every methodology includes the sample, the data collection techniques, statistical data. All these things are important. Okay, and of course, you will analyze that at this step. You will analyze that which method you are going to adopt and which method is going to yield more profitable outcome. Okay, a profitable outcome means credible findings. Okay, you are not going to get basically the profit or the revenue type of thing, but your outcome is basically the finding, the true findings of your research, whether you are able to reach out to the result or not. Okay, the fourth point is ethical considerations. Ethical considerations play a crucial role in the selection process. Researchers must adhere to ethical guidelines and principles to protect the rights and well-being of the participants, ensure privacy and confidentiality, and conduct their work with integrity. Compliance with ethical standards is essential to secure project approval and maintain public trust in the research community. Okay, so what kind of ethical considerations are important, and in which kind of methods? Basically, ethics are important in every methodology that involves the human beings or the animals, means living things. Okay, so if they are human beings, of course their privacy is very important, their confidentiality is important, their name should not be mentioned in your study, in your research work. Okay, and while doing work with them, or if you are going to inject some kind of dyes, some kind of drugs in the human beings, you need to maintain their integrity, you need to respect their grace as well. Okay, they are helping you out in your research work, but it doesn't mean that because they are your object, then you should start dealing with them like they don't have soul in their body. Okay, so you have to consider some kind of ethics while doing work with the human beings, individuals, or especially when they are serving as your object in the research work. Okay, so it is very necessary to show compliance with all the ethics, basic ethics, because it will ensure the success of your project as well. Last is alignment with the funding priorities. For the project seeking funding, alignment with the funding agency's priorities is vital. Funding organizations often have specific areas of interest, strategic goals, or societal challenges they aim to address. Therefore, researchers must align their project proposals with these priorities to increase their chances of securing funding and support. Okay. Okay, this factor, alignment with the funding priorities, we can explain this factor from two perspectives. So first is basically when any organization is doing an experimental or correlational kind of very big research project, but then this funding thing is very important. If the organization is not stable enough to carry out any research, then of course it will collaborate with other organizations or take funds from the other organizations. But even, and the second perspective is that even if any individual, any person, sole person is going to do research that is experimental and correlational, bigger standard, a bigger type of research, then in that case of if it he is or she is not financially stable, then he or she can collaborate with any organization. The organization will financially aid the individual. The individual will carry out the research. The organization may offer its lab to the individual as well. Now, what will happen when the research project will be, uploaded or will be passed? Okay, when the research project will be passed by the higher authorities, then the organization name will also come along with the individual. Okay, both of the person and the organization funding the person, both of them will get the credit of doing the research. Why? Because the organization has supported the person financially, and it has also offered its lab to the individual. So, of course, the organization will also get the credit. And the first scenario is when only a single organization is carrying out the research. There is no individual who is involved separately or solely in the research. So these things are very important when you are going to do the research. The funding thing, the financial stability is very important, because we are going when you are going to do the experiments, you need to involve some people in your experiment as well. So they will not, voluntarily get enrolled in your research. Of course, they will. You have to pay them some kind of wages, or you can say you have to pay them in terms of money, payment for their involvement in your research, for being that they will act as your object when you are doing the research. Okay, so these are the things that are very important in factors that are very important when you are deciding your research topic. Okay, so let us have a review of them. What are the factors that are very important to consider when you are deciding your research topic? Relevancy and importance, practical importance. Second is feasibility and resources, research methodology and design, ethical considerations, alignment with the funding priorities. So all these five factors will decide or will help you out in deciding your final topic for the research project. Now, second main topic is reviewing the key references. Okay, tell me, Beta, now up till now, is everything clear to you, or you still have some doubts? Okay, so second is reviewing key references. The review of existing literature provides a solid foundation for your study, helps situate your research within the broader context, and supports your arguments and findings. A thorough review of key references is crucial in writing a research project. By identifying relevant sources, evaluating the credibility, reading and initiating, organizing, and synthesizing information, integrating references into your writing, you establish a strong scholarly foundation for your study. These are all the steps or the points that are very crucial when you are reviewing the references. Okay, so why it is important to review the references? You need to ensure that all the references are legit, they are authentic, and you are producing your references at the end of your project, then no one will object your, or your instructor will not object on any of your references. Okay, references are very important thing in any, why, whether you are writing some sort of research paper, whether you are submitting some kind of thesis, or whether you are writing down an article. Generally, references are very important, and their authenticity comes forward beyond before anything. Okay, so you need to review your references. For example, if you are going to a library and you are taking any book for the reference purpose, then you need to search a little bit regarding the authenticity or the efficiency of the writer or the editor of that book. Okay, you will make sure that the editor or the writer of the book has some sort of experience related to the research, and all the data that he has written in his book is authentic. Okay, uh, means the editor has some history of experiments or lab work or research work. Okay, so because all the writers are not basically all the writers don't carry the experience of doing experiments in lab, okay, doing the research in bigger labs. So you have to search that whether the editor has some sort of experience or not. Okay, then you are going to issue that book for your research purpose. Okay, so first thing that is important or that should be uh, kept in mind while reviewing the references, identify the relevant sources. Okay, begin by identifying the relevant sources related to your research topic. These may include academic journals, books, conference proceedings, and reputable online databases. Especially when you are searching your data on any website, any online platform, you should also search about the authenticity of the website as well. There are many applications or softwares and are present on the internet that tell you about the authenticity of any article present on any other website. Okay, so you need to check out that too. Utilize the search engines, yes, exactly, and specialized database in your field to ensure the comprehensive coverage. Consider both seminal works and the recent publications to incorporate the latest research developments. Keep a record of the sources you identify for easy reference and citation later. Okay. By the start of your research project, you need to pen down each and every reference. Okay, you will pen down any reference, then you will do your research related to the reference. Okay, authenticity of the reference. And after you get sure about the authenticity of the reference, then you will start doing research for your research project from that reference. Okay, so you will use some sort of search engines and some sort of special databases that are present online related to the reference, related to the website that you are looking for. Once you are done with the authenticity of your website that you are looking for, then you will start analyzing or start doing research related to your topic. Okay, so you will always use the relevant sources, the authentic sources. Evaluate the credibility of the sources before delving into the content. Critically evaluate the credibility of the sources. Consider the factors such as reputation of the author, the publishing venue, the peer review process, and the accuracy of the information presented. Ensure that the sources are from reputable and reliable scholarly sources. This evaluation ensures that you are relying on trustworthy and authoritative references to support your research project. Okay, again, and the same thing that I have told you earlier is that before you are going to search your topic in any book or on any website, you need to search about the reputation of the author, writer, mean the editor, the publishing organization. Okay, and you will also look after the reviews of the book on present on the some any online platform. Okay, so you will basically search about the accuracy of the information that is present in the book or any website. Once you are sure about the accuracy, the efficiency of the data present in any in your references, then you will start searching about your topic. Okay, so it is very important. Okay, when you are searching about a specific topic in any book, how will you know that whether it is legit or not? You will search about the author or editor, sorry, editor on internet. Okay, you will search about his personal information, his experience, his experience in the field of lab on Wikipedia. Okay, so you will also search about the same information in other books as well. Okay, you will match the information in 2 to 3 books, and then you will come to a point that the information is correct in all the books. So now you can easily search all. For example, you have searched the information, uh, what is the formula name of the medicine Panadol, for example, Panadol. Okay, what is the formula name of the medicine? Panadol. Now you will search this information, this question in three books, and the similar answer is present in three books. Before searching about the information, you will search about the writer or editor of the book on Wikipedia. Okay, you are done with the search of the authors. You come to a point that both of us, all the three authors are very competent. They have worked in the labs. They have published their research paper on the internet. A lot of papers, research papers are present on the internet with the name of all the three authors. After this information, now you will start searching about your question. What is the formula name of the medicine? Panadol. And while when you have gone through all the three books and you come to a point that similar information is present in all the three books, now you have three references for your research. Okay, book number one, number two, number three. You have three references for similar research, and all the three references are authentic one. Okay, so you need to basically evaluate the credibility of the resources this way. Read and annotate the references. Thoroughly read and annotate each selected reference. Take detailed notes, highlight the key concepts, arguments, and evidences present in the source. Make a note of any relevant methodologies or theoretical frameworks used. Identify the connections or discrepancies between the different sources to gain a comprehensive understanding of the existing literature in your field. Okay, the same thing is explained over here, that you need to compare 2 to 3 references and you need to evaluate whether the similar kind of uh, data is present in all the books or not. Okay, so this is actually the, here it is explained that the way to uh, compare the references. You will thoroughly read and annotate each selected reference. Annotate means basically you will note down, okay, note down the selected reference. Okay, take the detailed notes and highlight the key concepts. This thing, the topic that you are looking for in the other references, you will highlight its answer in all the references. Okay, what answer is written in book one, what answer is written in second book, what answer is written over a website. You will highlight the answer, you will note it down under the name of the reference. Okay, after that you will also note down any kind of methodology that has been mentioned in all the 3 or 4 references, and you will annotate basically means to note down. Yes, write down. Yes, exactly, note down or write down. Okay, after noting down the references name, now you have note down what is the answer that is present in all the references. Then you will see that editor or the author of the website has adopted which methodology to come to this answer, to come to this point. Okay, you will also note down that if it is mentioned. If it is not mentioned, then reference, and after that the answer is just sufficient to compare the results. Identify the connections or discrepancies between different sources to gain a comprehensive understanding of the existing literature in your research field. Okay, sometimes, in fact, most of the time, all the books, the main references, or if three scientists have done a research on similar topic, their research will be actually interrelated with each other. Okay, for example, if let us name scientist A and B and C. If scientist A has done a research, after a few years, scientist B have questioned something on his research of scientist A. Then when scientist B will do the research, he will relate his findings, he will relate his research to scientist A. Okay, he will perform the experiment, he will do the practical, and he will state that scientist A in year 1999 or 1996 1960 has done a practical and come to the result that this and this happened because of this. Now I have some doubts and I'm going to repeat the practical and I will do my research in my own way. After scientist B, another scientist come over and he will again start doing research on the same topic on which scientist A has done the experiment, scientist B has done the experiment. So mostly when you are searching about a specific topic, then two to three researchers, the work of two to three researchers are usually interrelated to each other. They are interconnected to each other. They have used the name of other researchers as well in their work. Okay, and by this way you come to you can easily evaluate that you are going into the right direction or not. Okay, so this there is some sort of relation or connection is present between two to three researchers who are working on the similar topic. Then organize and synthesize the information. Organize the reviewed references by theme, concepts, or the research questions relevant to your study. Identify the commonalities, divergences, and emerging trends within the literatures. Synthesize the information by summarizing key points, identifying gaps, and critically analyzing the arguments presented in each reference. This synthesis will help you develop a coherent and well-informed research. Okay. Okay, so how will you basically organize your information? Now, what you have done, you have identified the relevant sources, means your references. You have evaluated the credibility, authenticity of the resources. You have noted down the answer of your research topic, and you have highlighted your answer, and you have also observed that some kind of correlation or interrelation exists between your research work, okay, between among two to three references. Now you will organize your information that you have collected from your research up till now. Okay, up till now what you have collected, you will organize that information by theme, concepts, or the questions. Okay, this is just an example. For example, you have searched up till now, you have searched what is the formula name of Panadol. So you will organize your data as formula name of Panadol, reference this, answer this, reference this, answer this, reference this, answer this. Okay, so basically it is a framework, or you can say the layout. Okay, so it is basically the layout that how you will carry out your research, how this layout will help you out in carrying down a smooth research. Okay, but because sometimes what happened, that the end of the researchers got confused that from which reference I got this answer, from which reference I got this answer, what has I written down, okay, why I didn't uh, organized my data. So you need to organize your data by the theme, concept, or the question. Okay, so it is dependent upon, totally dependent upon you, then that and in which form you are going to organize your data. Identify the commonalities. Commonalities means the similarities between two to three references that you have reviewed up till now, you have studied up till now. Divergence, you need to know what kind of diverse information is present in your references related to your topic, and the emerging trends within the literature, because trends keep on updating, they keep trends and techniques, they keep on updating, they keep on changing with the passage of time. So maybe when you are studying a book written in 1980s, now almost 50 years have been passed, now the trend has been changed. So after that book that was written in 1980, when you will start reading the book that is written in 2018 or 2016, you will see a visible difference between the information present in both books related to similar topic, because the techniques have been changed, the trends have been updated, then the way of research have been changed also. Okay, synthesize the information by summarizing the key points, identify the gaps, critically analyzing the document arguments present in each reference. This synthesis will help you develop a coherent and well-informed research project. Okay. So now, after you have critically evaluated your reference, after you have studied the credibility of your reference, now you have started collecting the data. Okay, after starting the collection of data, you will start to organize your information, and that organization will be based on the themes, the concept, or the question, simply the research questions. Next point is integrate the references into your writing. Finally, integrate the reviewed references into your research project. Ensure that you properly cite and reference each source following the appropriate citation style. And I think so, you know that you are already familiar with this point, that when you are writing a reference at the end of your paper, you must write it down in a specific writing style, whether it is Harvard style, it is APA style, it is MLA style. So difference between all these three kind of styles is just the sequence of writing, the author name, the date of publication, the volume of the book, and the topic number, the page number. Okay, so these five, six things are present in all these three styles, and the only difference is the sequence of all these five, six factors. Okay, in for example, in APA style, you need to write the topic name, book name first. In MLA style, you need to write the name of author first and then the book name. Okay? So there is just a difference of sequence of all the things that are present in references. Use the references to support your arguments, provide the background information, and demonstrate the existing knowledge within your research field. Acknowledge any limitations or gaps in the literature that your study aims to address. Okay, so while critically analyzing the reference, you need to arrange your references in some um, proper style, okay, whether it is APA, Harvard, or MLA. And I think so in your writings, Harvard style is recommended to you people. So you need to uh, present your references in Harvard style. Use the references to support your arguments, provide background information, and demonstrate the existing knowledge within your research field. Okay, so your references are everything of, or your whole research is present on your references. So they need to be properly presented at the end of your paper, and they need to be authentic one as well. Acknowledge any limitations or gaps in the literature that your study aims to address. Okay, why it's mostly, not mostly, but oftenly what happens that when you are doing research, a point basically hit your mind, and here you decide that this is the thing that I need to do research upon. Okay, this is the gap that is present in the literature information or the literature view that is present to present on the website and in the books related to your topic. Okay, so when you come to a point that you will easily evaluate that information related to this and this thing is not present in any literature review, any book, any website, then you will start working on that gap, basically that point. Okay, let us take a layman example of if, for example, if we are doing research on migraine, okay, and we relate migraine with the headache, half head headache. Okay, we are not aware of, and now we have started doing research on this topic, that migraine is related to headache, or headache leads to migraine, basically. We are not aware of the fact that blood pressure is also high. Blood pressure is another contributing factor in developing migraine. And while we were doing research, we never studied on any platform that BP is also related to it. Now, this is the thing, this is the point that will hit me. And I will start doing research on whether BP is related to migraine, high BP is related to migraine or not. Okay. So I will pick up this thing, I will pick up this point, that I have not studied anything on in any reference related to high blood pressure. I just got some hints from all the references, that pulse rate is maybe higher, or maybe your heart rate will be higher. And due to all these hints, I come to a point that high blood pressure is also related to occurrence or development of migraine. Okay, so basically, you need to sort out the point, the gap that is present in the literature review or the books, and you need to start working on that point. Then you will be able to add on into the literature review that is present already, or you will be able to add on your name among all the researchers that have done some research related to your topic. Okay, so beta, is it clear? Till now, is everything clear? All right, so last topic of today's lecture is clarity and confirming the purposes and outcomes of the research. Defining the research question and scope. Okay, so this is assessment criteria number 1.3 that we are going to start right now. Undertake, sorry, 1.4, produce a research project specifications. Okay, so what kind of specifications should be present in your research, or basically you can say that what is the purpose of your research question? What will be the answer outcome of your research paper? We are going to discuss it over here. Defining the research question and scope. Okay, research question is the topic. Let's explore the crucial steps of clarifying the purposes and outcomes of the research, particularly in the context of defining the research question and scope. So, what are the main steps that are usually involved in explaining the objective or explaining the aim of our research paper? Let us have a look over it. Establishing the research objective. What is the main objective? What is the aim of our research project? The first step in defining the research question and scope is to establish clear research objective. These objectives serve as a roadmap for the study, outlining the intended outcomes and the purpose of the research as well. Okay, by articulating the specific and measurable objectives, researchers can ensure that their study addresses to the core research question and generates the relevant and meaningful results. I think so. This is the main aim, main objective of any research project. Okay, every researcher will ensure that he will generate the relevant information by doing some sort of research. He will generate the meaningful results to his or her research, and of course her research outcome will add on into the literature review, into the information about a certain topic that has already been present. Okay, you will contribute to adding into the information related to a certain topic. Identifying the research question. Once the research objectives are defined, it is crucial to identify the research question that the study aims to answer. The research question serves as the central focus of the investigation, guiding the entire research process. It should be concise, specific, and address a gap in knowledge or a problem within a field. Formulating a well defined research question helps in determining the boundaries of the study and identifying what is to be included. Okay, so what was the objective? That we will add on into the information that is already present related to a topic. This was the objective. And identifying the research question now, because we have promised that our research will add on into the information, we will start working on our research topic. That what is the topic that we actually want to do research on? Okay, what is the gap that we have explored or conquered while researching on a specific topic, and we have picked out that gap. Okay, we'll pick out that gap and then we will start doing research on our topic. So after giving your objective, giving your aim, you will identify your research topic by yourself. Okay. Defining the research scope. Defining the research scope involves delineating the boundaries of the study by specifying what is to be included and excluded. Okay. And you will also explain or define your scope of research. For example, you will explain that whether experiments will be included in your research or not. Okay, this is just an example. Other factors will be dealt in the same way. Researchers must consider these the resources, the time constraints, feasibility factors discussed earlier. We have just discussed them all to determine the manageable scope of the project. This includes identifying the target population, geographical locations, time frames, and any specific variables or parameters that will be considered or excluded from the study. Okay, this is very important thing. Beta. Whenever you are doing your research, you must kept in mind that what will be your target population. In fact, some kind the target race is also included in your research. For example, in you can say if we take an example of two or three different races: the Asian people, the European people, the African people. Okay, some medicines act differently in different races, and some medicines they act differently in different genders. Okay, some medicines produce different side effects in males, while they produce different side effects in females. Similarly, some medicines also work differently. Only a few medicines they work differently in different races, depending upon their skin tone, their what do we call it, their metabolism type. Okay, and also the pharmacodynamics of the drug within their body, because they are producing, their skin is producing different type of different percentage of melanin. Okay, so these things vary accordingly. When we are talking about the effect of a specific medicine, we need to count a target population, a target race, or a target gender as well. Okay, so when you are doing your research, you will mention that what is your target population, what is your target race, what is your target gender. Okay, so this is another very important thing that should be kept in mind while doing research. And these things are not only included in experimental research project. While writing down our qualitative or quantitative research project, we will also consider this factor as well. Geographical locations, yes, as I told you earlier, different races, Asian, European, African, time frames. Ex- Exactly, time should be, specific time duration should be taken to carry out a research. There should be a proper time frame. Any specific or any other specific variable or parameter that will be considered or excluded from the study. So these are just 3 to 4 example, and you can add on or exclude these variables as well, depending upon your topic, basically. Okay, the nature of your topic. Then justifying the inclusions and exclusions. Now you have included or excluded some factors. Now, in the next step, you will in your paper, research paper, you will justify that why you have included some factors, why you have excluded the other factors. To ensure the validity and credibility of the research, it is essential to justify the inclusions and exclusions within the research scope. Researchers should provide a rationale for their decisions, demonstrating why certain aspects are considered relevant and why others are excluded. This helps in maintaining the focus of the study, avoiding the unnecessary deviations, and ensuring that the research remains coherent and aligned with the research question and objectives. So, because now you have included some factors in your research, so you need to justify them as well. There is no need of justification of the exclusions. You will just say that I have excluded these points. For example, I have excluded the temperature of certain area or certain place because it does not affect my research. This will be sufficient. You will not start writing down the paragraphs on the temperature or the weather of that area. Okay, and you will justify the inclusions. Okay, for example, if we have said that I have taken 5 males, 5 individuals for my study, you will justify only this point, that why you have taken only males, why you have not taken the females. Okay, why you are doing your research only on the males. So you will justify the inclusions, and you will while about exclusion, you will just say that I have excluded this and this factor because they will not affect my study, or if possible, then you will give just reason of 1 to 2 line. So this was all about the factors that are involved in deciding your project topic, how important it is to validate the key points or the key references, and what factors should be involved in defining the basis of your research and your the purpose of your research. Okay, so this was all about today's topic. If you have any question, beta, tell me. Okay, all right. So learning outcome was, of course, understand how to formulate a research specification references. That is your learning outcome number one. Okay, if everything is clear to you, can you tell me in your own words, but why it is necessary to review the key references? I mean, why should we validate the references as well? Why should not we proceed our research paper just blindfolded? Yes, we are ready to forward it further. And secondly, our research is all authentic. We have not just blindly surfed the internet and then we have just copy pasted our content on in our research project. Okay, so we need to validate it because we need to show that we have done authentic research on our topic to establish a strong foundation. Yes, exactly right. Okay, so beta, this was all about your lecture number two. We are done with our learning outcome one. Okay, only one assessment criteria is left behind for learning outcome number one. Okay, if you have any question, do tell Miss Kinza to ask Miss Kinza. She will forward me the your question and I'll answer. Okay, beta, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.